5 years now to a man who is too lovely. I prayed. I've been married for 5 years now to a man who is too lovely. I prayed for a good man and I had him. I can't say my husband isn't a good man. God will judge me if I do that. Good is nice, but too good is boring. That's one thing I learned just a few months after marriage. I wanted a man that would love and treat me right, will help me at home and support my ambitions. I wanted someone who will be there for me, never abuse me, will respect and prioritize me. God gave me just that man. I was happy at first, but at some point I wanted him to be a bit rough. I wanted him to be a bit dirty and crazy. I missed the feeling. My ex-boyfriend before my husband was a crazy cheat, and despite the fact that I always had issues with him, I realized he was hot. He was even hotter when he cheated or did something and refused to apologize. I tried to get my husband to change. I started bringing it up in our conversations that I'm attracted to a man of such caliber. I watched such movies with him and said things that would at least trigger a part of him to want to be crazy, but it's just not who he is. He was still dull, reluctant, and too caring. I'm not happy to say this, but I eventually started sleeping with his friend. He was a friend who used to come by the house once in a while. Not long after I started sleeping with a friend, I got pregnant. That was somewhere in my 7th month in the marriage. I didn't know whose it was, because my husband and his friend were my active sexual partners at that time. Some months before I delivered, his friend said he couldn't do anything with.
Hi, Tribe of Men. Welcome to another episode here on Blacknificent Media. And this is the 33 Men's Voice podcast. Today, we are here once again to review a video. And as you saw the story, I'm going to finish with the story, but this video is going to teach you how important a woman's past is to you as a man, and why you should take a woman's past so serious. There are so many factors that prevent most of us men, especially uninitiated men, to dig deeper and then find out how a woman grew up, how her previous relationship went. Most of us don't care for so many reasons, from being weak, from being a simp, from having a scarcity mentality, and all of that. This story is going to just give you in a practical manner, practical form, how a woman's past can destroy your present and your future as a man. So let's go and listen to the story. Now I'm going to start it all over, and then I'll pause and then tell you how things unfold when you meet a woman and you don't check her past and get to know what she had been through from her home, where she grew up from the men she started sleeping with, and all of that. It can ruin your present and your future. Mind you, women are interested in your future, and you should be interested in her past. And if you do not take her past serious, she can use her past, just her past, to destroy your present and your future as a man. Guys, if you have watched up to this point, please, if you have not subscribed, do where to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that anytime we upload videos, you'll get to know and watch and learn with us. And let me say, I really appreciate you, all of our subscribers. You guys have given me a message without talking, and I have listened to the message. The message is that you love it when I upload videos every day. Ever since I decided to make it a point to upload video every day, you guys' participation here is amazing, and I love that. Now, let's go into the video and then get started.
Married for 5 years now to a man who is too lovely. I prayed for a good man and I had him. I can't say my husband isn't a good man. God will judge me if I do that. Good is nice, but too good is boring. That's one thing I learned just a few months after marriage.
Guys, this is something that we need to take serious. I've done, if you go to the live session of this YouTube channel, when you come to this channel, you see home, you see videos, you see short and live. When you go to the live session, you scroll down and watch those videos. You see one of the videos where I was talking about the woman's communication style. Women speak in circles, okay? But because that is their style naturally, it end up making sense to them. But most of the time, their communication style alone confuses us men. Okay? Most of the time, when a woman says yes, she means no. And we need to get this. Okay? A woman that is broken, destroyed, doesn't want a calm guy, a guy that go to work, come home, do what he's supposed to do, and then go about life and business. No. Okay? So be careful. What she said, she was boring. Let's continue.
I wanted a man that would love and treat me right, will help me at home and support my ambitions. I wanted someone who will be there for me, never abuse me, will respect and prioritize me.
It's all right. Let me tell you, the women that are not destroyed, they are not broken, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Their list of things they want in a man is not up to the roof. But a broken woman, they want all the good qualities in a good man, and they want all the bad qualities in a bad man in one man to marry. And it doesn't happen. You are either a bad man or a good man. But these women don't deal like that. Let's continue.
Gave me just that man. I was happy at first, but at some point I wanted him to be a bit rough. I wanted him to be a bit dirty and crazy. I missed the feeling. My ex-boyfriend before my husband was a crazy cheat, and despite the fact that I always had issues with him, I realized he was hot. He was even hotter when he cheated or did something and refused to apologize. I tried to get my husband to change. I started bringing it up in our conversation that I'm attracted to a man of such caliber. I watched such movies with him and said things that would at least trigger a part of him to want to be crazy, but it's just not who he is. He was still dull, reluctant, and too caring. I'm not happy to...
A lot of men, okay? A lot of men have allowed women, such women, to change them. I'm not saying as a man, if you genuinely have a bad habit, and a woman comes into your life and say that this bad habit will not help you, will not help me, and will not help our relationship, and maybe one day our children. If you know you are in such a situation, why don't you change? Change. But most of us will allow a broken, destroyed, damaged woman into our life to come and then change us. Okay? That is what most of us do. And why do we do that? We do that under the pretense of we are showing love. Why? Growing up, we were told, do everything a woman says do for her and she will love you and you have peace of mind. Bro, it's not true. It's not true. And most guys are in deep troubles in their relationship as I speak here because they followed that script. They knew nothing about women. They knew nothing about women and they went ahead to bring a woman into their life, and today it's hunting them because they allowed a woman to dictate their life for them. They allowed a woman to change them from good man to a bad guy. Why? Because these women have all their life been dealing with bad guys sexually. And their taste for a man is built around a bad guy. Okay? And when they come into your life and they realize that you have built your life, you are successful, you're a good man, they want to change you into their ex. Because sexually, they can never be satisfied with a good man. And a lot of you guys out there, that is the problem you are dealing with. Trying to please a guy, a girl, or a woman who has built her sexual life, relationship life with bad guys. You are not going to be successful with them. Let's continue with the story.
crazy, but it's just not who he is. He was still dull, reluctant, and too caring. I'm not happy to be attracted to a man of such caliber. I watched such movies with him and said things that would at least trigger a part of him to want to be crazy, but it's just not who he is. He was still dull, reluctant, and too caring. I'm not happy to say this, but I eventually started sleeping with his friend. He was a friend who used to come by the house once in a while. Not long after I started sleeping with the friend, I got pregnant. That was somewhere in my 7th month in the marriage. I didn't know whose it was, because my husband and his friend were my active sexual partners at that time. Some months before I delivered, his friend said he couldn't do anything with me again because his conscience were judging him, that my husband didn't deserve that from him, so we had to quit. I didn't force him. I went on to have my baby girl, who happens to look just like me. When my baby was 8 months old, I met this guy on Instagram. He goes by the name Timothy Finn. He expressed interest in me. I told him I was married, but he said he didn't care. I was attracted to his confidence, so we started dating. We eventually met and started having sex as well. Then he got me pregnant. This one, I was certain he was the one. I still pinned it on my husband, but made him aware I was carrying his seed. I thought he loved me, but instead he decided to end things with me. I didn't understand why he ended the relationship just because I allowed myself to get pregnant for him. Until the pregnancy was 7 months old. Then he started blackmailing me. He knew at that point I couldn't abort or anything, so he started demanding that I give him money or he comes to tell my husband that he's the father of the baby. I paid him off, but he never stopped coming. I've given him more money than I can imagine. The baby is 2 years plus, but Timothy won't leave us alone. I can't do this anymore. I want to end this as madness because he can't use me to keep making himself rich. This guy is insane, always threatening me. I've lost everything to him. My husband is even suspicious. Please, what do I do? My life is miserable as we speak, just because of one baby I've had with that idiot. I don't care.
Well, at this point, we don't care. We don't care what she will go through, what she's going through. You and I, as men, what is most important in this story is how you can prevent yourself from going into similar or same predicament. Okay? How to prevent yourself go into similar situation. Okay? So please, during the dating time, the talking time, don't talk too much. Listen more. Listen more. And don't just listen. Do your own background investigation. It's so sad. My next video is going to be about as to whether marriage is a scam or not. I now see a lot of African men on the African continent saying that marriage is a scam. Marriage can only be a scam in the US, in the UK, in Western countries. If marriage become a scam for you in Africa, it's your own fault. You embracing Christianity and leaving your culture away, that is your problem. That is your problem. That is why marriage can become a scam for you. Now, today, we don't want to do any background investigation. And sometimes I don't blame some of my brothers too much. Why? Because majority of us grew up under the influence of feminism without knowing that feminism is having influence on you as a man. So they told you doing anything that will offend a woman is bad, number one. You doing anything that will offend a woman will make you lose women. And already, it's difficult to get a woman's attention and sexual access. So a lot of men, once they have one woman in their proximity, their life, we want to do everything to keep her. And that is the beginning of our end. And women know this, and they play the game to our advantage. Okay? So please, take some time, especially a woman that you want to settle down with. The video we watch is about a man and the wife. And already into the marriage, the woman has given him 2 babies, which are not his. Okay? So please, I always say this, guys, it's difficult to become a man that can become a wife, a husband, and a father. And you don't build yourself, you don't build your values, and then go into a woman's life and then allow her to destroy everything. Just like that. All because you fail to do proper investigation. You fail to do proper investigation about her past. Now, talking about a woman's past, why your biggest competition is her past. Here, let me explain to you. Why is her past your biggest competition? It's so funny, and it makes sense on a face value that as a man, the woman you have married, you are going to have trouble with her past. Like past should mean the word past, but it's not like that. When it comes to relationship, how she grew up, you are going to have to deal with it. The men she dated, you're going to have to deal with them. Even as she has left them, you're going to deal with them. If they gave her toxic life, she will want you to behave toxic towards her. On the flip side, if you meet a woman that grew up stable, entered into a stable relationship with a stable man, a good man, who never treated her bad, if you are a bad guy and you meet this girl, there will be friction. It's like that. And on the other hand, what most men suffer from is the man being a good guy, not troublesome, not toxic, balanced and stable. Pick a woman that is broken, unbalanced, and toxic, and this woman is always comparing you to her past, her exes, how rough they were, okay, how toxic they were. And if you listen to the story, she says that my ex, what made me love my ex most is that when she cheats on me or does something wrong, she will refuse to apologize. Yes, this is what broken women love. So you hear some female dating coaches telling you that, oh, you need to be sometime rough. You need to be dramatic. No, you don't have time to be dramatic as a man. The moment you see that they are indirectly or directly expecting you to be dramatic, cut them off. Cut them off. Because they have nothing good for you. Okay? So the way she was raised, if she was highly maltreated, that is going to affect you. If she was neglected to the point where she became narcissistic, that is going to affect you. So you are suffering with a woman in your present, and it's going to grow into your future, all because this woman was maltreated in the past. And then the worst thing that most men suffer, most good men suffer at the hands of women in a relationship is when her ex-boyfriends and husbands were abusive. When they abuse her to the point where she begin to love bond with them, a trauma bond with them, every relationship that she goes through, she wants it to be traumatic. Other than that, she can't enjoy it. And that's why today, yes, there are so many women, but unfortunately, you as a man, we as men, need to put in a lot of work. We need to put in a lot of work to select the best out of the few ones out there. And as a man, especially, I'm speaking to majority of African men, Ghanaian men. We had a saying, that Okwawaria Bisa, when you are going to marry, ask. This statement represented you asking about the woman physically, you asking about the woman socially, you asking about the woman psychologically, you asking about the woman spiritually. Today, thanks to Christianity and feminism, we've thrown all of these things away in Africa. And today, African men are crying. Okay? In relationships and marriage. Let me tell you, as a brother, I will tell you what works, what has worked for me. I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Muslim. I practice my African ancestral practice or spiritual practice. And here's the thing. Anytime I see a woman and I like her, and I think that I want to have something futuristic with this woman, the moment I make that decision in my mind, the next thing I go is to go to the shrine and ask about her. One, because of the practice that I practice, the African spirituality that I practice, I cannot have sex with somebody's wife. Even a woman that has been engaged to a man, I cannot have sex with her. If I do, I'll be punished by the deities or the gods. And some of the punishment is I can die. Now, so because I don't want to go through this punishment, what do? Anytime I see a woman and I think that I like her, I want to have something futuristic with her, I go to the shrine and do divination. And they will tell me, oh, this girl is cool. She has no man in her life. And then they will tell me extra things. If she has spiritual problems, that is going to come up in the relationship, that will be so detrimental to myself and maybe her, they will tell me. And the beautiful thing is that if this woman is willing and come with me, they can help her to let go whatever problem there is. That is that. Then, aside that, with this discipline process that I've allowed myself to go through, that's where the gods also protect me. How do they protect me? Paternity fraud is not a problem for me. As I'm sitting here, no woman can give me paternity fraud, because you cannot officially commit to me and sleep around without being caught. I will not chase you. I will not track you. All you have to do is just have sex with another man whilst you have pronounced commitment towards me. And if you get pregnant, you have to confess before you can push a baby out, or you die. So as I'm sitting here, anytime I see a woman and I like her, I tell her, this is what I'm under, this is what I do, this is what I practice. Can you be faithful in this relationship? If you know you can't, if you are in your hole, you are whoring, go and hoe. So our ancestors knew of all of these things, so they put things in place. But today we say we are Christians, we are Muslims. We don't want our African tradition, and we are complaining. Okay? After me going to do all this spiritual background check about this woman, I had to do the physical. And the divination will give me a lot of clues. You have to go. In the past, when a man wants to marry a woman, they will send delegation to go to the girl's hometown. There are those who go to the family and introduce themselves that we have come to talk to you because our son wants to come and marry your daughter. There are those who go to the town, their job is to go and investigate, go fish out information. Who this girl growing up has been, the kind of man this woman has dated, and all of these things. And in the far, far past, the woman will not even have sex with any other man apart from you, the one going to. But today, as time went on and feminism started taking over, coming into the African soil, you have women who have slept with about 2 men, 3 men, and all of that. Today, there are some that have slept with uncountable men. So as a man, you have to do your checks very well. I'll not go deeper into that because my next video is going to talk about whether marriage is a scam for men in Africa, which my biased verdict is no. It is our lack of information, lack of learning and knowledge about ourselves, about the system, about culture, tradition, that is making us think that marriage is a scam. Okay? So brothers, let's be wise. Let's invest time in identifying a woman's past. Let's invest time in knowing the kind of men she has dealt with. And sometimes they themselves will let you know. But simping, weakness, and lack of abundant mindset will make us ignore it. When a woman is telling you that my ex used to be rough and dirty, that is where you should let her go. But because of simping, being a weak man, having lack of abundant mindset, aka scarcity mindset, and also being afraid to let a woman go, okay, not being able to embrace delayed gratification, all of this come together to make us live with women we are not supposed to spend a minute with. Okay? So guys, if you find yourself being in that situation where you have a lack of abundant mindset, that is, you have scarcity mindset about women. Because of that, when you see a woman, you can't let, and a woman has bad behavior, you can't let her go. You're afraid, if I let this woman go, which other woman am I going to get? If you have that problem, you can email me at blacknificentmedia@gmail.com. Blacknificent in one, no space, @gmail.com. blacknificentmedia@gmail.com via email, and book a session, and I'll help you get over this. Okay? If you have issues letting a woman who does not deserve your time, your energy, and everything, you have issue to let them go, book a session. Email me and book a session, and I'll help you get through that. Because bros, let me tell you, it's difficult to become a man. Women don't need to do much to be women. All the things that they need to attract you in a relationship, into marriage, they came to this world with it. But you have to work for everything and add more value into her when you marry her. And you don't need to give your sweat to the wrong woman. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and share the videos to other men to become initiated.